Hello everyone and welcome back to our project where we built a CRM system from scratch. And I finally got a microphone, so I hope the quality of the sound is gonna be better, and let me know in the comments how it goes for you guys. And let's start everything for us. So let's start the bun server. Oh, sorry, it's not the right. This is the right path. The tailwind situation here as well. And the bundle. Okay. We're good? Yeah, we're good. Let's see what we have. So we have our layout here, and we can navigate to the card that is not implemented now, and that's what I wanna do. The real Zoho CRM can open the card and it takes forever to load, but it shows a bunch of useful stuff after that. So let's maybe start doing this piece by piece. First of all, I wanna render a title, and then maybe I wanna render the pipeline as well. Let's see. Maybe we wanna start by rendering the title and then just render the left side of the card, which will have the fields that I can edit, because the fields are not implemented completely yet. So yeah, it will be a good starting point for us. And when the fields are ready, so we can create card with the fields, then edit it with edit fields. It should be good. And only after that we're gonna move further for more functionality for the stages here in the pipeline and stuff, and go to the right. So let's open my journal. Okay, so September is done. Like today is October 3 for me. So let's just archive this guy. We can say that I can have like a journal archive here, and let's say it is 2023 October Alex. So that way I archive every month at the end of the month. That way I can understand what I've been doing each month, right? And that way also if I have like more team members on the team, everyone will have his own file with the journal, and it's just a nice thing to be able to see what we've been doing every month, and just to understand how the functionality went, what was like where we spent extra time, not in terms of hours but in terms of days, because hours I'm not interested in like this like very precise measures. I'm more interested in strategically high level overview of what was going on. And it's also a pleasurable thing to have like archive of everything that I've done, so I can actually visually see the work that I've done, which is nice. Okay, so I wanna do render the card title first of all when we open the card, right? So to do that, we wanna render the screen card, right? So for now we just have a div, and that's what we show, right? we wanna have like a little layout of this stuff, right? So in the root element, we wanna have like basically the layout for the top section, right? I'm not thinking about right now for the menus and navigation. I don't want to think about it right now. I will, I guess, just focus on the internal stuff and then figure out the layout later. Okay, so the div will be just where does it go? The div goes inside of the root element, right? Okay. So the root element is flex justify center, and we can say that the inner div will have a width full, I guess. Right. Oh yeah, it doesn't exist because yeah, that's another problem that yeah, maybe let's do the following before going to layout. Make serve the card URL, serve the page when we hit the card URL, right? We wanna go to the server and say that whenever we hit the card, right, we serve the same page. So whenever we hit the card, we do the same stuff for now, right? And then so it works, and then on initialize, when on init, figure out the current URL, and if it's card, then render the card screen, right? So for now I always render the pipeline screen, but I wanna actually see what is the URL, right? So I wanna see like this logic should be actually on the init as well. So let's maybe do it like in a function, render screen by current location, maybe just by location, and then I can get the location property, and depending on that stuff I can actually invoke the rendering like this, right? And then instead of invoking the render screen pipeline, I can invoke the render screen by location and pass it the location, and do the same over here. So just invoke the same code, right? Yeah, and maybe let's move this guy a little bit lower, somewhere here, because we wanna have similar functions near each other. So screens start, and then screens end, right? That way when I have more screens I can just put them over here. Okay, cool. So now I on initialization I render the screen. Maybe let's put it above this code, right? And that way I render the card editing code, right? We could actually have like separate script bundles depending on the page, but for now I don't see a reason for that. I don't have any problems with the same script, so I will just stick to whatever is working right now. That's how I usually approach stuff. If something is not broken, I'm not trying to fix it and make it nice, but just do the simplest thing possible. Okay, so we've done that. Now we can actually navigate between those and refresh the page, and depending on the URL it loads the proper state. Okay, now we wanna see how do we make this layout be the full width of the screen. I told it to be full width, but it's not listening to me, so maybe, oh yeah, so I probably need to change excuse me, I probably need to change the base, the parent div class. I don't know, should it have always the width of full? No, you see, so depending on the screen I want to have different class for the root. Depending on the screen, change the class of the root div, right? Yeah, so right now it has this class all the time, so maybe I could just do it like this and then factor out this guy as a common class. Yeah, I can just put it over here, class root, and then I can just use it here, right? Yeah, so now I didn't change any logic. What I would like to do actually is whenever I render the screen, that's when I apply the class for the root. Whenever I change the screen. So for each screen on the pipeline, I want to do the same code still, and maybe let's copy with all the comments as well, like this. And then on the card screen, right, I want to do like the same stuff, but I want to do the full width, right? So that way I can navigate back and forth and still have my layout working for every screen as I wanted. Let's move the comments, because they are really about the classes over here. I want to move them up wherever the class is defined. That way I can have them here. And don't do the duplication that I don't need. Okay. Yeah, this is the pipeline, and the card has the full width and this guy has the fit width. So this is nice. This is nice, right? And now let's maybe go back and figure out how we wanna structure the class, the styles for the layout in the card screen. So we want to say that maybe this guy will have maybe it will also have different flex direction, because right now the flex direction is row, I guess. Yeah, by default it's gonna be a row, I guess. And what I wanna do a column, right? I wanna do a column. So let's maybe take and do like how do you call it in Tailwind? Flex row. Yeah, flex row and flex column. So on the pipeline it's gonna be flex row still, and on the screen card it's gonna be flex column. Yeah, everything still works. This is flex row. We navigate, it's flex column. We go back, it's flex row, which is really cool. Okay, and now I wanna maybe, let's see, what do I want? I want to put a title block, so it's gonna be a title. Maybe we will call it like container top, maybe just top, and it will have another, well, we can just say what will be the title value? What is the title value? How do we render the card? I don't remember. So for each card in the body, we have the title, the body. Inside of the body we have cards, and these cards has div cards, right? And how do we actually, so for each card we call render CRM card, and in that function how do we decide what is the title? Okay, so we take the card, we take the field label to display in column, which is for now it's candidate name, right? So we take this value. Oh yeah, I see. Okay, so we wanna render a card title at the top, or on the top, I don't know how it's in English. Right, yeah. So over here we wanna say that basically we wanna execute the same code, but it's gonna be the same anyway everywhere. So maybe I can say like we can say like CRM card, and this is gonna be card card title, I guess. Get, I would say calculate card title, right? And just that's how we calculate card title. So why I use calculate? Because if I use get, well, I could use get, but I just wanna emphasize that it's not doing any kind of requests. It's just, well, maybe I could actually call it get. Yeah, that's fine for now. And let's just put it somewhere. Maybe like over here. get card title, right? Yeah, and we can do the same here, and we wanna get the card first of all. So in order to render the title, get the card for this specific screen by ID, right? So we want to understand what is the card that we want to edit, right? Right now it's just dummy card ID, but we want to know exactly what it is. In order to do it, we want to actually say that we want to say, instead of generating dummy ID, generate actual ID that we could use to identify the card. Yep. And for now we can just generate on the client side, but in general it's a good idea to do it on the server side. That way we don't have any conflicts, and we make sure it's unique and nobody else is using it. But for now it's gonna be just, we can do how can we generate ID? Should we do we have counter ID, but it's for DOM, so that's not good. We can say counter card ID, that's fine. And instead of doing dummy card ID, we can say dummy card ID ++ string, right? Well, no, sorry for that, it's stupid. So we want to put the ID inside the card first, in the state. So whenever we create a card, we actually want to say that it has the ID, and the type does not have the ID yet, so we want to say ID, and it is number for now, but I'm not sure it will be forever, so I will just use the string for now, because I don't want to couple, because it will never be number. I don't want number, I want some kind of unique ID that it is not necessarily number. And then it will be ID equals counter card ID ++, and that way over here we can say card ID, right? Whatever card we are editing right now, which is over here, that's what we assigned it to, and we can actually do like this. Right. So we have our card with ID, and then we assign all the fields, and that's how it goes. One of the things that happens here is that we could have a field called ID which will override it, so we will need to protect from that. And to protect from that, maybe we want to have them in an inner structure, so that way we will allow people to use the ID as a label, but it will not clash with our actual ID. So you'll just say we want to avoid clashes if the label is called ID, to move to an inner object, right? Okay, so instead of generating the dummy ID, generate actual ID that we could use to identify, right? So we generated the ID, and then we use the card ID to navigate, and then we want to actually like add the IDs over here. So we want to say ID and just, you know, do like this. Just for test data, so just to clarify that that's not gonna be how the production system works, just for quick prototyping for now. Cool. And we have the ID here as well, like that. Very nice, very nice. So now if we navigate to something, we have the ID, and it is the ID of the card, and we can actually check that by logging the state, and we can see that all the cards have the ID field, and that's what we use to navigate. Yeah, we will need to fix the styling issue here, but that's not a problem for now. Okay. Okay. So now we can find, so yeah, we did generation, completed, and then get the card for the specific screen by ID, right? So whenever we open the screen, over here we want to say the card equals, well, we want to get the ID first, so we want to know how to do that. Is it like window location, and the location field has a href, right? The search, okay, we can take the search and then so get the card ID from location search. So ID of the card is gonna be, sorry, window location search. I wanna get, well, can I just do like URL search params and location search? Yeah, and then I can say, does it have like some methods? Get, I guess, card ID. Yeah, and it returns me the ID. So if I go to some different, yeah, that's what we want to do. So we can say URL search params and search params. Then we can say like get card ID. And then we want to say parse int right. Is it like, oh, it can be null? Yeah, so if it's not existing, it will return null, so that's fine. If ID card str, well, I can assert actually that it's not undefined, and can say like card ID query parameter, query param is missing, right? And then, well, for some reason Typescript does not whenever I assert condition, Typescript should be able to figure out, okay, that I asserted that, so now it's not null. Maybe I need like some tsconfig to change the tsconfig to assert, I don't know. Basically, I want to say that maybe I need to configure the TypeScript compiler to be more assertive. Like if I assert some condition, it should be propagated down the flow, down the control flow, you know. But I'm not sure it's possible, to be honest. Let's see. It ensures that whatever condition is being checked must be true for the remainder of the containing scope. So maybe, what if I use assert defined? Oh, now it works. That's interesting. That's interesting. Asserts condition. Oh, so I can like do this. Oh, now it works. So I don't have to use is true actually. I can just assert the condition and it works. Excuse me. Oh, very nice. I'm happy with that. So I got the ID of the card. Now if it's missing, I get assertion error. If it's not missing, I get the card ID, which is 2, which is very nice. Do I have utils yet? No, I don't. That's fine. So basically, now I wanna because it can be also not a number. So if I put some garbage here and navigate, it's not a number. I don't like that. So I don't like that the parseInt function behaves that way, so it returns me not a number. In that case, I want to also fail, or at least know that it's not a number, and don't forget to check for it. So in that case, I actually want to create like a separate function. Let's maybe have a separate file with utilities and say parseInt or undefined and I can say like str, which is string, and it returns number or undefined. And what it does is it parses the string, and if this string is not a number, how do you check? Do you check like not a number equals not a number? Oh, it doesn't work. JavaScript is not a number. Is none. There is. Okay, that's what you do. Is none. Okay, so if number is none, I wanna return undefined. Otherwise, I return n. Right? And let's just import this guy as utils. Right? And use it. And also assert that this guy is defined. And this is defined as well. So we can remove that. And that way we can fail if it's not a number. Which is not failing for some reason. It's undefined. Oh, sorry for that. Yeah, so in that case I can say must be a number, right? Must be a number, and if it's number, that's all good. If it's missing, it's also, we have a good error message. Okay, so why did I create this function in utils and not in the base? Because like in my convention, but you can have like whatever convention you want, but in my convention, like I import all the modules with a namespace, so I can refer to them and understand where this function is coming from. And everything else, like if there are some common functions that I call every time, I actually keep them in the base, because I don't want to bother with namespaces in this case. But it's just like an exception to the rule, and everything else is in the namespace. And I use uppercase namespaces to distinguish between module name and variable name. So, okay. And basically we have the card ID, and now we can get the card for this specific screen by ID. So we can say we need to find the card in our state. We can say like state cards, and for each card so we can have like cards in different states. So this is a state, sorry, not a state, stage, and it's in. So for each stage I can say cards equals state cards stage, right? And for each card I need to check if ID is equal to ID of the card. Then we found the card equals C and break. And what else? Oh yeah, I actually don't have to parse, you know. Oh, I'm so stupid. So because it's string, I don't want to parse it. Yeah, we don't want to parse it. We can actually keep it as a string. That's all good. Okay. So, and after that I want to say assert define the card couldn't find card by ID. by the ID. Maybe I would want to log the ID. I don't care about that for now, that's fine. So now if I say card ID is equals 2, we have the card, and let's log it, the card over here. So we have the card with ID 2, 3, 4, and so on. Okay, very nice. Okay, so we know how to get the card, and then when we have the card, we wanna take and render the title. So get card title, card, and that's what text we will have, right? So if we go back and open John Doe, we have John Doe, which is really cool. And then we wanna put the, yeah, we've done that. We rendered the card title. Now we wanna put the title on the title div on the top, right? So now it's actually taking the entire page and it's sitting in the beginning. So maybe we wanna take, what I see, guys, is that actually the whole classes situation for the root should not be reused, because now I find more and more differences between the two layouts. So maybe I wanna just use, just use specific classes that I need for each layout, because that's not working as I intended it to. So let's maybe say that in the pipeline we'll have these classes as usual, and then we can have our comments over there. Right, and then we can have our classes here as well, and we're gonna remove the width and the flex rule as well. So now we wanna say that maybe it's gonna be justify start, right? So we start justifying the items from top to bottom. That way we can have the title at the top. And we also wanna have the background, which is gonna be white, right? And then, oh my god, I accidentally hit refresh and it's refreshing forever. Yeah, and then just maybe style it a little bit more. So we can say that the title class, well, we want to say like we want to say that we will have title inside, right? Title inside, and then we will just append it inside like that, right? So now we can style the title. Here we can say like text, sorry, how do you say font weight, font bold, and also maybe text medium, no, large, and maybe font semi-bold, right? And then just some, some padding. Maybe font should be light. No, that's too much. Should it be like normal? No, it should be font semi-bold, yeah, like that. Cool. Now we have our super cool title. Let's maybe also add some more padding by vertical, right? And yeah, and we can be done with it, I guess. We can set the height. We can set the height. Maybe we can say like 24, and the border bottom will be slate 100. Well, it's not working. Oh, yeah, so it will be border. Yeah, like that. Maybe border 2. Border bottom 2, like that. Right. Well, I need border 1 pixel, and it's gonna be just thicker. Not thicker, but darker. Like that. Yeah. And we can have a height of like 36 maybe. And then yeah, something like that. Yeah. So we've done that. What else we want to do? We want to do the back button. Add the back button. So this is like an arrow, which is gonna be over here, div back, and it's gonna be like is it like an image? Yeah, it's background position. Yeah, maybe we can have like icon, arrow left, which one should be here? Like this one looks okay to me. Yeah, it looks okay. Okay, so we can say that this is how we render icons, and we can just do the same stuff. So it will be icon, arrow, left, right, and it will be, maybe I don't even need a div for that. I can just have it on the top level over here, like that, right? And then I can say that this guy needs to be fill none, view box is the same, stroke width would be the same, stroke will be current color, class is class is this guy. How do you do the class thing? Like this, huh? Yeah. Okay. So we do the class, and then for the path we do stroke line cap, round, stroke line join, round, and then we have this shape, and that's it. Let's see. Okay, and then we want to put everything on one line. So for that we will do like we will do a flex situation, and then we will do like maybe arrow will have a margin right 4, right? Yeah, it looks fine to me. Maybe it needs to have margin top. No, that's too much. Like this. Yep. And then we can navigate back to the pipeline screen when we click the arrow. So whenever we click the arrow, we want to say like this. And how do we navigate? I don't remember already, so we don't need this guy. Allocation. How do you do that? History, I guess. Yeah, history push state. Oh, and you know what? We wanna reuse the parameter name, but that's maybe later a bit. So we actually do the history push state. Maybe not push state. Maybe we should like use back, right? Is it like that? Is it supposed to work like that? I think it should. Okay. Let's add some more styling. Yeah. It's kind of okay to me. Yeah, it slowly starts to look like a real deal, you know, guys. Real deal. Very cool. And then clean up the param names by reusing them. So I don't want to have like two places where I mention the same parameter name. So I would rather just have like some constant here, param, param query param, I guess. Card ID, maybe like ID card ID like that, and that way we can go and replace it everywhere. Yep, it still works. No, it's not. Okay. Oh, that's what it means. So to make it dynamic, you do it like that. Okay, now it works. Okay, and I can navigate back and forth, which is really cool. Really cool. So I guess that's a good starting point for editing stuff, right? And then we can go ahead and like continue implementing all the card stuff. Yeah, I guess we can stop right here and just review our progress for this part of functionality. So let's open our Git. So first of all, we archived the journal. We added some utility function which we don't use, but we still will use it in the future, so that's fine. Then we can say that on the server we fixed the navigation, so we can load the same page on the new URL. And then we added the IDs that are needed in order to navigate between the cards. And then we want to avoid clashes. Yeah, we want to fix this guy before committing, I guess. But let's first commit and then we will fix it. Like that. We have the counter. Right, and we actually render the specific screen depending on the URL. And we generate the ID for the card. And then we render and stuff. Yeah. Which is cool. Right. I actually want to comment on that guy. So previously I had asserts condition is true, but apparently it when the assertion is written that way, it does not enforce the condition in the control flow after this function invocation. I don't know if it makes sense, but I will try. And so to enforce the proper condition in the control flow, we just use asserts condition. It's not as useful, but it's just as a general knowledge that this is how TypeScript works. Maybe in the future I will put it not here but in some general docs, because it's not really about this specific function. It's more about like general TypeScript situation. So let's do like navigate between the screens and identify the card by ID, right? And then we wanna fix this guy. So we want to say that for this card we want to move the card fields to an inner object to avoid name clashes, right? So in the card itself we want to say that this is gonna be like the fields and it's gonna be the same type. Right? And then whenever we create a card, we actually gonna have like fields object which is empty, and then for the card itself we will say fields and then the field, and what else? Well, card.id, yeah, over here fields, like that. Okay, it's not working. Cannot read properties of undefined. Yeah, in the state, I guess I have like this stuff. So I need to fix it. Right? And to fix it, you just select stuff that you need, like that, and then you just, refactor, like that. And you call it fields, and you're done. Right? And it works. Magic. And if I create a card in some pipeline, my super cool card, save it, open it, all good. The card ID is 0 though. Whoa, that's not good. Oh, it's 0. That's not good. So we fixed this guy. Okay, let's commit it. I try to commit whenever I do like refactorings like that. To avoid the mess, I commit it in a separate commit, so it doesn't make a mess later with all the other changes. Right, so we want to continue generating card ID from the max ID in the pipeline. That's just dummy algorithm, but who cares? So ID card counter card ID. Over here we want to say that it's gonna be the maximum, the max from the state, right? So we want to say like for stage of state cards, state cards, stage counter card ID equals, for card counter card ID equals math counter card ID and ID. So whatever is bigger, I don't like it, but that's fine. I can live with it for now. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. We can just we can just live with it. It's hack, it's not clean, but we will still implement it properly later. Like that. So we have the 6 is a maximum, and then whenever I create a card, it has 6. Okay, so it should be like +1. Oh, sorry for that, it's not like that. Yeah, so it has 7. My super cool card, and it's 7. Very nice. And we can push. So that's it, guys, for this video, and thank you for being with me today, and see you on the next video.